So at my big age, I am still having a regular menstrual cycle every 30 days. I'm going to talk about why I'm happy about that and how I use that to stave off diseases of aging. Now, I know a lot of people feel like diseases of aging is just a done deal. It's something that we just buckle in and get ready to experience. I've taken a much different approach. By the way, hi, I'm Cher. This is a Cher effect. I'm a 20 plus year practicing psychotherapist, but what I share here is my own personal experimentation, my own habits and routines that have really made the difference in my life in terms of strength, beauty, resiliency, and yes, staving off the aging process as best I can. I'm not here telling you what to do or even influencing. I don't consider myself an influencer. If I can, I love to inspire you to put the energy into taking care of you because I don't feel like it's a done deal. Today, I want to talk about hormones and how I achieve the hormone levels of a healthy 30-something-year-old and maintain that, and why. And what I've found out through my own research, consulting with a lot of experts. Again, this is not a one-size-fits-all. I hope it inspires you to do some more research of your own. I'll link a few videos below for you to dive deeper into. But let me share my protocol with you, why and how I got there. If that sounds good, go ahead, grab something to drink, grab a snack, put me on the background. Let's hang out and let's talk about hormones, hormone balancing, and what boosted hormones can really do for us. So the one thing that triggers us all when we hear about hormone supplementation is one study that was done, the Women's Initiative study done back in the early 2000s or the late 1990s, that was done and showed with some very skewed data some incidence of cancer. Well, we need to understand, and of course, I encourage you to do more research on this, and I'll link a podcast that talks a little bit more in depth about this. But we need to understand that the hormones that were utilized in that study were not anything like what I am using here. I am using bioidentical hormones. The reason that I do it is because these hormones affect our health in just about every way you can think of. Brain health, cardiac health, bone health, body muscle mass, and our ability to retain that and not go into sarcopenia and start withering away with time. Just about every system does better. So as much as I hate to deliver this news, this is the facts. These types of protocols are not going to be covered by your health insurance. I accepted a long time ago and prioritized my spending dollars to go towards I will hire a functional health specialist. By the way, I have not spent an incredible amount of money on this at all. It's been quite reasonable, but my ongoing supplementation, my topical creams, yeah, it costs money every month. This is a commitment. It's a health commitment. And there's a saying out there, something like, we either are going to put aside the money and the time to focus on our wellness, or later on, we're going to put aside the money and the time to focus on our sickness. And I've always just come at it from more of a proactive state, a proactive approach. Into my late 40s, I decided to go off grid, off standard Western medical care because, I'm sure you've heard this too. Oh, we're not going to test your hormones. They're going down. Basically you're being dismissed and you're told there's really no reason to look at any of this because we're not going to do anything about it anyway. So that's when I went off grid, found a really good, functionally trained physician who's trained in hormone supplementation, levels, started testing. Let's look at this. And I started probably about 14, 15 years ago now is when I started my hormone supplementation. Now, protocol I've been on for the last 3 years. is the Wiley protocol. I found out about this through my good friend Claudia over at Claudia Glows. She turned me on to this, and life has never been the same. I'll never go back, and I'll be on it forever. And so I was using a topical supplemental hormone regime, but the Wiley brings it up a notch. And what the Wiley protocol seeks to do is bring us to that beautiful 30-something year old hormone level and balanced. I wasn't even balanced in my 30s. This is estradiol, progesterone, and a little bit, that red one is testosterone. Take a very small amount of that. And these are all applied through the skin. My preferential delivery method for hormones. I'm going to be on hormones from here till the end of time. So the idea of taking an oral hormone and putting it through my liver for eons just feels too much for me. And I would just rather go ahead and supplement through the skin. Seems like a great delivery method. My skin's benefiting, and it's just the simplest and easiest way that I like to go at this. I have to hold your hand and tell you, yes, I have to pay out of pocket for this every month, and it's worth it. I prioritize my spending. Now, everyone's budget is different. I'll just tell you, I always have a 10 to 15-year-old Honda in my garage, one car, that's it. I don't waste money on things that just don't seem to really add to my quality of life, but I will spend money on these. And why? Why would one even consider doing something like this? All I can speak from is my own experience, and for me, my own research, speaking with functional health physicians, has informed me that we don't want our hormones to just tank over time, leading to brittle bones, cardiac issues, brain health issues, basically whole body systems issues. The level of hormones that is optimal is supporting all of that in my body. And like I said, I'm staving off diseases of aging. I have a zero tolerance. I don't want any diseases of aging. That's my decision. I made it about 15 years ago. I mean, I was pretty healthy before that, but I really dove in to biohacking, self-experimentation. I had red light therapy way back then. I started to dive into this, and hormones was a big part of that picture. It's been in the last 3 years that I've been on Wiley, which has really made this incredible difference. And if you're curious, the way this works is, of course, this prescription is for me. Levels get tested. You work with a physician who's been trained to do this specifically. And in the morning and in the evening, I'm applying a certain dose. I've got my progesterone, I've got my estradiol, and I've got a little bit of testosterone. And the levels will change throughout the month, throughout the 30-day cycle. And it's really becomes sort of just a part of every other routine that I have. It's really quite simple. It's, the big commitment is obviously that it is a certain dollar cost. So that's my plan. I'm sticking to it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm not answering as a physician. I can only answer from my own experience. I'll try to drop a few podcasts down there if you want to deep dive and do a little self-education. That's always my hope, is that it inspires you to go off and learn more and be curious about your own body, or just find out more. If you have any questions, you can drop them down there. You just want to say hi to me. I'm excited to see you guys in the next one. See you then. Bye.